Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pass Your 220. The first thing that we're going to review is Unit 1, which is General Information. I do want to let you know that this is based on the test for the state of Florida. However, if you are in a different state, this might be helpful because it does give you some general information, and most, not all, but most states do work the same as far as insurance. However, I would definitely recommend purchasing your General Lines manual because this is going to give you all the pertinent information to not only Florida, but all the other states as well. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. First things of Unit 1 is going to be the qualifications. What you're going to need to know from Unit 1 is that the General Lines agent requires you to be 18 years old. You do not have to be a high school graduate. You have to work or live in the state of your license. You have to actively work in the state of your license. Actively, meaning that you have to be doing business there. Um, you have to have completed your 200-hour course or have taught it, but generally you've completed it, in property and casualty insurance. And it requires this state exam. We all know that that is a monster of a test, and I've taken a few insurance tests, and to me, this was the hardest one. However, it's not impossible to pass, and it's not impossible to pass it on your first time because I've done it, and if I can do it, you can do it as well. You need to be appointed by a company. This is very important. And they give you 48 months, which is 4 years, from the time you take your test and you are licensed to be appointed by a company. You need to do this because if you don't do that in 48 months, which is 4 years, which is a long time, but if you can't get an appointment in that time, you will have to take your 200-hour course again and take the state exam again, and nobody needs those problems, right? So you definitely want to get appointed. And generally, when most people are getting their General Lines agent, they're doing it because they already have a company in mind that's requiring them to have this license. Duties and functions of the Department of Financial Services. This is another thing that is kind of heavy on the test. And what it is, it's basically this is the whole division of agent and agency services, which is part of the DFS, who approves the licenses to agents, the customer reps, and the claims adjusters. They give us our license. They also supervise claim activities of companies to assure fair treatment and prompt settlement. So they make sure that the companies are on the up and up to make sure that they're giving the right treatment to everybody and that they're paying out how they're supposed to be paying out. They also investigate charges of unethical conduct, and in the event that they do find that, they will take the companies to court. Duties and functions of the Office of Insurance Regulations, or OIR. They examine the qualifications for insurance companies seeking to do conduct seeking to conduct business in the state. So basically, they basically let license the companies. After the companies are licensed to do business in the state, the company's financial conditions are reviewed periodically by OIR. So after ABC Insurance, for example, is licensed to do business in the state, the OIR goes through their books and makes sure that everything's on the up and up. They also approve policy forms for companies. So in the event that ABC Insurance needs some guidelines to have their policy forms before they send out to policyholders, they're the ones that do that. They also review rules and rates. However, they do not make reading and underwriting rules, and that's going to be on your test, most likely. Duties and functions of Office of Financial Regulations. They do provide oversight to financial services providers like banks, credit unions, finance companies, and the securities industry, and they were created in 2003 and report to the Financial Service Commission. I'm probably going to mention them later on in another video, but for right now, that's kind of something that you just need to keep in your head. I just want to let you know that this is not obviously the only things that you need to know, but this was honestly the most pertinent information that I needed to know to pass my test. If you have any questions, we'll have a whole lineup of videos that we're putting out, and you can always ask me personally. I'd be more than willing to help. Thank you for tuning in, and watch the next video.